The time is 10 o'clock, and this is WKYT Midmorning. A man suspected in a rash of armed robberies is out on parole after serving time for similar crimes.
Nearly 20 people are dead in Japan after a man with a knife attacks an assisted living facility.
And the stage has been set for Hillary Clinton to accept the Democratic nomination tonight in Philadelphia.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. It's great to have you on WKYT Tuesday, July 26th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. You know those showers that hit here or there yesterday? Actually found my yard, and
really?
It was really a good one. You know, if you were fortunate enough to have that happen.
Congratulations. Yeah, because
I
some
like
did.
That. Yes.
They're kind of moving through in clusters, and so that is going to be the case again today. And let's check in with Micah.
Yeah, and it just doesn't look like widespread weather. Not today, not the next few days. However, you get toward Thursday, then that's a different story. But like you guys were talking about, warm, humid, and hit and miss thunderstorm. That's again in the forecast today. You can see northbound, just north of Kentucky. That's where we're seeing a few thunderstorms pop up here and there. But for us, it looks really good. It's going to warm up pretty rapidly, already at 81 degrees there in Lexington. And once we hit the afternoon, 89 degrees is the call with those hit and miss storms. Not everybody sees the rain today. Some of us do. We're going to talk about what you can expect out of those storms if you do see rain coming up.
All right, let's get to the news.
Up first this mid-morning, local and state police have responded to a report of a shooting at a home in Owsley County.
The 911 call came in around 5 a.m. from a home off Highway 846 south of Boonville. We're told the homeowner called police after shots were fired. The coroner also was dispatched to the scene. But we have a news crew arriving there now. We'll have more coming up on WKYT News at noon, and details as soon as we get them on WKYT.com. The man who police believe is behind a string of robberies in Lexington is out on parole after being jailed for similar crimes. Within the last week, police say Kelly Cox robbed a Fork Bank on New Circle Road, a Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road, and a Marathon gas station on North Broadway. Investigators say Cox robbed the same Fork Bank in 2010. He later pleaded guilty to robbery and other charges. Cox was given a 12-year prison sentence, but he was released on parole last week.
Police are still trying to track down an inmate who walked away from a Lexington prison. The Kentucky Department of Corrections says Clyde Rader walked away from Blackburn Correctional Complex early yesterday morning. Rader is serving a 64-year sentence for charges that include robbery and burglary. Investigators say Rader also walked away from Blackburn in 1997.
2 people are facing charges in 5 states, and they're now behind bars in Madison County this morning. The Madison County Sheriff's Office says they assisted U.S. Marshals with serving warrants on Becky Calhoun and Shuwan Parks. Calhoun was arrested after a 2-hour peaceful standoff at a home on Keystone Drive in Richmond. Parks was not at that scene, but later turned himself in. Police say both of the suspects are wanted for multiple charges over a 7-month span.
State police are trying to figure out what led to a deadly crash in Whitley County. They say a car hit 2 people on Highway 895 near Williamsburg. The coroner says 1 person died at the scene. Police tell us the second person was taken to the hospital. We do not know that person's condition this morning, and we don't yet know the names of the victims. Authorities in Bell County are investigating an assault that was posted on Snapchat. Lauren Hopper has scratch marks and bruises after a night of partying turned violent. She says a dozen men and a woman held her down, punched her, tied her up with rope, then threw her over an embankment. Hopper says her attackers also recorded the incident and then posted it to Snapchat.
Just mad, horrifically mad that they thought it was funny that they hurt another human being that way.
Deputies say when they arrived on scene, they found about 30 people at the party, many of them underage. They say they have a copy of the video and they're investigating, but it will take time. So far, no arrests have been made.
Overseas, people in Japan are mourning following the nation's worst mass murder there since World War II. A 26-year-old man turned himself in after stabbing more than a dozen people to death at a home for the mentally disabled outside of Tokyo. The youngest victim was 19. The oldest was 70. Officials say the suspect once worked at the facility. In France, 2 attackers seized hostages Tuesday in a church killing. An 84-year-old priest was then shot and killed by police. French officials say another person inside the church has life-threatening injuries. Police managed to rescue 3 people from the church in the small southwestern town. The hostage-taking occurred during morning mass.
Closer to home, officials say 2 Indianapolis police officers were injured during a shootout with a suspect. Investigators say an officer tried to stop a suspicious vehicle, but the driver refused to stop and started shooting. When the chase came to an end, police exchanged gunfire with the suspect. They say one of the officers was hit and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A second officer suffered minor injuries. Police say the suspect was killed. Well, Hillary Clinton is set to make history today as she becomes the first female presidential nominee of a major party.
Tonight's roll call vote comes after a rocky first day at the Democratic National Convention, culminating with Bernie Sanders urging his supporters to back the former Secretary of State. Jamie Yukas has the latest from Philadelphia.
Bernie Sanders capped a contentious first day at the DNC, urging his backers to help Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump in November.
Hillary Clinton must become the next president of the United States.
The Vermont senator's supporters repeatedly booed and interrupted the day's events.
I am going to be respectful of you, and I want you to be respectful of me.
Fellow progressive Elizabeth Warren did her best to refocus attention on Trump.
Donald Trump has no real plans for jobs or for college kids or for seniors.
But it was First Lady Michelle Obama who managed to bridge the divide.
Only one person who I believe is truly qualified to be President of the United States, and that is our friend Hillary Clinton.
Some Bernie Sanders supporters say that no matter what, they will not vote for Hillary Clinton, even if that means Donald Trump becoming president.
Many protesting outside the convention are still angry over the release of hacked emails suggesting DNC staffers favored Clinton over Sanders in the Democratic primaries.
All we can do is come out and show our support and keep fighting for Bernie to the end.
Sanders had a message for those demonstrators.
Our revolution continues.
Former President Bill Clinton will address the convention today, a day focusing on his wife's record of working for children and families. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And other speakers today will include women who have lost their children to gun violence, among them Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin, and Leslie McSpadden, the mother of Michael Brown.
Several Kentucky delegates are attending the Democratic National Convention this week. Kentucky's highest-ranking Democrat, Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes, is among those delegates. She'll speak to the Philadelphia crowd tonight and expects to see a unified party in front of her.
What I'm seeing is unity, folks that are coming together from both Hillary Clinton and Senator Sanders' camp.
Now, according to her Facebook page, Grimes will address the convention today during the 5 to 6 o'clock hour.
Kentucky's U.S. Senate race picking up steam heading into the annual Fancy Farm Picnic, which will be August 6th. Senator Rand Paul and Lexington Mayor Jim Gray are both campaigning in eastern Kentucky today. Gray is unveiling his plan for helping the state's economically distressed coal communities. That is an announcement in Pikeville at 11 o'clock this morning. The Lexington mayor will be joined by some other state lawmakers, including House Speaker Greg Stumbo and Senate Minority Leader Ray Jones, to discuss his plan. And Senator Rand Paul, the Republican, will be hosting a series of town hall meetings this week. Paul is holding 4 of those town hall style events today, one in just a couple of minutes in Corbin, also in Pineville, Harlan, and Whitesburg. Tomorrow he will make a stop here in Lexington before holding another town hall event in Shelbyville.
A heads up for Lexington drivers on southbound Man-O-War today. A stretch of Man-O-War starting at Winchester Road is closed for pavement repairs until about 3 this afternoon. Drivers on Winchester Road are not able to turn left or right onto Man-O-War. Northbound traffic will be moved to the southbound lane through the work zone. To access Man-O-War from Winchester, you can use Polo Club Boulevard, which runs past Costco.
And some other projects in the region as well. They're working on the Clays Ferry Bridge here today, so trying to get all that done in these summer months.
Be careful navigating all of it.
Right.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. A flock of baby ducks needed some help, and they got it. We'll show you how.
And fans of Wonder Woman got a little taste of what's to come from their superhero at Comic-Con in San Diego.
We have some thunderstorms developing just to the north of us. These are actually moving northbound. However, we do expect some more to develop and head into our neck of the woods later on this afternoon. I'll show you that in your forecast coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Another day where we wake up and it's warm and humid outside, and we're also dry, and that's going to be the case throughout noontime. Once we hit afternoon, well, we'll start to see some of these storms slide into the viewing area. Just looking at the latest model data, it continues to come in and showing it drier. Not dry, don't get me wrong, but drier than what it was showing last night and early this morning. There's some good news for us. I'll have to watch that and make adjustments there at noon if I have to. But as of right now, this complex is moving northbound. It's moving away from us. However, I do expect part of that to actually start to form and develop south of that, and then that'll slide down into our viewing area because we have that front right over us. Nothing right now. That could change by the afternoon. Already 81 degrees there in London. Corbin, Lexington coming in at 81 degrees and Frankfurt at 82. I still expect a few hit and miss thunderstorms. Nothing that's going to be widespread. Nothing that's going to absolutely just wash us out today. But still, some of these thunderstorms will be heavy. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of moisture outside. 89 degrees by the afternoon, especially if you do not see rain today, which there is a possibility, much like what you saw yesterday, where some of us pick up. Some of us had 1 to 2 inches of rain yesterday, believe it or not. Some of us didn't pick up any rain yesterday, believe it or not. So it kind of depends on where you are. That's going to be the case again today, 1 to 8 p.m. That's your best bet, as that front is draped right over us. Trying to get some plans in, get some things going. If you're wanting to knock out a walk or run and you have some time today, do it now, because afternoon you're looking at some of those thunderstorms developing right along that front. It's very warm and humid, though, that is for sure. So as you're walking outside, just keep in mind, taking those kids out, the afternoon could have a few hit and miss thunderstorms here and there. Still going to be very muggy, that is for sure. But that daily threat at spotty thunderstorms is in the forecast. Every single day this week off into your weekend, there is a shot at that. Trying to plan some of these events is kind of tough. But I'll tell you this, morning hours look much better than afternoon hours. Every single day. Morning hours look much better, much drier than afternoon hours. And not just drier, but they're so much better feeling too. I know it's still humid in the morning, I get it, but God, that afternoon gets really sticky. Flash flooding threat will be our main concern as we get off through the next few days, because we'll just have those hit and miss thunderstorms. But the problem is, if you have some of those thunderstorms rolling over the same area each and every single day, guys, these rainfall gauges will really add up if that happens. That's the thing to watch out for. No widespread flooding concern, no widespread flooding threat, but it's just isolated spots here and there. Got to watch out for in the next few days.
It can just really be something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turn a street into a river like that.
Very quickly, yes.
All right, thank you.
Well, a hunt for some coffee and Pikachu led to the rescue of some ducklings in Rochester, New York.
Scoot story, 2 men's search for Pokemon led them to 8 real-life ducklings. They say that they had heard the ducklings down in a sewer drain, and then they went to get help. Firemen rushed over to the rescue, opening up the bolted grate and climbing into the drain. It's believed the ducklings were in the drain for some days before they were rescued. It ends well.
Isn't that sweet? Yes,
is.
Good ending. Well, a Philip Roth novel is adapted for the big screen, and a sneak peek inside the new Wonder Woman movie.
Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
I had no father. I was brought to life by Zeus.
Superhero fans are buzzing about the new Wonder Woman trailer that just debuted at Comic-Con. The movie stars Gal Gadot as the iconic Amazon princess. Wonder Woman lassos her way onto the big screen next June.
Should have stayed away.
You should have killed me.
One of cinema's greatest epics gets a reboot when Ben-Hur hits theaters next month. Jack Huston and Morgan Freeman star in the story about a prince who plots his revenge after being betrayed by his brother and forced into slavery. And the stars of the new drama Indignation walk the red carpet at New York's Museum of Modern Art. The movie, based on the Philip Roth novel, stars Logan Lerman as a young Jewish man off to a conservative college in Ohio during the Korean War.
The character was very challenging to approach and figure out, and I'm excited by it.
Indignation, based on Roth's own college experience, opens Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, if you are a young musician with hopes of making music a career, you don't want to miss an event that's being held here in Lexington.
Details about the Kentucky Music Showcase next on WKYT. And tonight's Mega Millions is $15 million, and tomorrow's Powerball jackpot $422 million.
Welcome back in. It's Mid-Morning on WKYT. It's an event aimed at helping young musicians pursue their musical dreams. The Kentucky Music Showcase is happening here in Lexington. It's going to be in September.
To learn more about it, we're joined by Taylor Hughes, acoustic performer, along with co-host Stephen Harper and Michelle Klaus with Central Music Academy. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Appreciate everybody being here.
for having us.
Stephen, how does this work?
Well, this is going to be the Kentucky Music Showcase on September 10th. All the vendor proceeds, along with donations given to anybody, are going to go to Central Music Academy, which is it's a building that gives free music lessons to anybody that's grade school age and up by UK music students. We're going to basically give them money to maybe relocate or get some more instruments, kind of help them out a little bit.
Follow that dream, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's the plan.
And I'm sure that could make a big difference to people. Talk about the type of music that will be played.
Well, basically what we're doing is bringing a bunch of local Kentucky artists, so you're going to see just about every genre there is. I'm a country artist, but I know there's going to be some rap artists, there'll be some soul, R&B, all kinds of stuff. So it's really something that everyone will enjoy.
What is it like when you identify somebody that you know has talent and you just know they just need that extra push or maybe that help in getting started?
It's wonderful. It's so exciting to get to see the kids come in and be excited about music, but to be able to really fulfill their dreams of becoming a musician, getting to learn the skills that it takes and the dedication that they have to their instruments is really exciting.
What's the age range musician you're talking about?
We work with kids between the ages of 8 and 18 on all different instruments, so we do all band, orchestra, we do voice and piano as well.
You said it's coming up in September, so you'd like to hear from people right now to sign up, right?
Yeah, it's on September 10th. Right now we're working with a lot of vendors at the moment. We're trying to get everybody locked in, getting as many people as possible. We're talking with a lot of the vendors that are always at the night market on North Limestone and stuff like that. You know, West 6th, Country Boy, a lot of those guys, a lot of food vendors. So we'd like to get as many people to come out as possible. So if anybody's watching, we'd love it.
Lexington's a pretty good musical town these days, huh?
It definitely is. I just started doing this professionally about 2 years ago, and I've met so many people and have created so many connections with a ton of artists that are so talented that I don't think I would have ever met if I didn't start pursuing this myself.
And I'm sure it feels good to share it with other people.
Oh, it's so much fun to be able to see, being able to help younger artists. I had a show the other day and a bunch of little girls ran up to me telling me they wanted to do what I did. So it's great that we can help people like that.
Very gratifying. Well, there's the information again. It'll be Saturday, September 10th from 11 a.m. to midnight. So a good day of work there to get ready to go. You can check out their Facebook, Kentucky Music Showcase Cookout and Benefit that's going on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you guys.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Discover some new artists, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
great.
Good deal.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning.
We're going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up on this Tuesday.
Ooh, this sounds good. From the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, Tuscan pork chops.
And they come together in no time at all. They're made with some easy ingredients.
Do you get frustrated thinking about what to make for dinner every day? If so, let me share with you a dish that we just came up with. And since it goes together in less than 15 minutes and uses ingredients that you probably have right at home, it's a no-brainer. We start by sauteing some thick-cut boneless pork chops after dredging them in seasoned flour. Once they're golden on both sides, we take them out, and in the same skillet, we add some chopped garlic and stir that around until it gets toasty. Next, we deglaze the pan with some balsamic vinegar and chicken broth. We want to make sure we get all the bits and pieces from the bottom of the pan stirred into the sauce to give it lots of flavor. Now we add in some diced tomatoes, along with a few capers and brown sugar. Then we add the pork chops back in. After the simmers and the chops are cooked through, dinner is served. What makes these so good is the combo of the balsamic vinegar along with the tomatoes and all those pan drippings. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our Tuscan pork chops. So this way, you won't have to worry about what to make for dinner tonight. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a juicy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Okay, Micah approves of that. A viewer yesterday told me, she said, you know, Micah doesn't like anything.
No, but it's easy. I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, meat,
easy
and
enough,
pizza,
right?
and that's it.
Expand your horizons.
My wife loves it, by the way. She's just
easy enough for her, right?
Three things on the table. So let's talk about what's going on 7-day forecast. Good chances of rain the next few days. And none of these are complete washouts, I believe, except for Thursday. Thursday, I'm still kind of leaning toward a washout. Right now, 70% chance of rain. That might increase in the days to come. But the next 2 to 5 days, we're talking about hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Some will get it, some will not. We're going to go over new data coming in. That's coming up at noon.
All right, we'll have the latest news and the updated weather forecast and sports from Dave Baker coming up at noon right here.